All right. We got an official Dynasty Dilemma episode today. Going to be breaking down some roster stuff today. We'll get into that in a moment there. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm good. I want to deliver a message to Chuck in Alaska. Chuck, if you're watching, I started reading your comment in the last stream, and then I stopped because Blake and I thought that you were a bot. So I am so sorry about that. Yeah, because after the stream, like the next day or so, my mom, who was in Alaska with my dad recently, was like, oh, like, did you talk to Chuck? Like, I met this Lions fan in Alaska and he said he was going to subscribe to your channel and message you. And all of a sudden, the light bulb went off. Yeah, I connected the dots. I'm like, oh my God, that's the guy that we thought he was a bot. So, Chuck, I am so sorry about that. I hope you're still watching. And if you are, definitely send us a message in the live chat and hope to hear from you.
Yeah, check in, sincere apologies to Dynasty Savvy. I mean, honestly, like with no context, like in my view, I'm like reading this one that says, I think what was like greetings from Alaska, which is like a known like bot message. So apologies, that's how we got
our bad
to that, Chuck. But glad to have you here, regardless if you're seeing this. I hope so.
Yes, and thank you for subscribing. Really appreciate your support, and hope we didn't lose you as a viewer.
Yeah, so for anyone else watching, kind of like a funny story of like, just completely misinterpreted his comments there because it said like, greetings from Alaska or something. I was like,
yeah,
and then some other thing, I'm meeting someone's mom, but it didn't have any context. So that was a comment from must have been our last stream.
Last stream, yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, so
we haven't been able to do our normal start-sit streams on like before the game on Thursday and Sunday morning before the games because we've been having those early games overseas, and both of them the past 2 weeks were Vikings games. And of course, Blake, you're a Vikings fan, so you didn't want to miss those. Going forward, we're still gonna try to do them when it makes sense, but at the same time, we don't really want to like compete against actual NFL football going on. So we'll try to figure that out. But I mean, we'll probably still do it before Thursday when we can. And then probably any Sunday morning where there isn't like an early football game being played overseas.
Yeah, maybe look out for times before football games like this, Monday and Thursday. No guarantees again, but we might be streaming, and then also maybe before Sunday. So anytime before a football game, and maybe we'll actually get a schedule if possible.
Yeah, and all the more reason to hit that notification bell. You'll get alerted anytime we go live. So that's the easiest way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So today, certainly if there's questions, we'll, regarding, maybe some lineup decisions or something this year or this week for Monday or whatever it is, we certainly will address it when we can there. We're also going to be talking about some dynasty stuff here, primarily. Again, also player stuff. So whether you're a redraft watcher or a listener or not, or dynasty, going to be some player conversations in here as well. But we're going to also be talking about primarily our rosters in Dynasty, probably for today, one each and then we'll maybe our next stream we get a chance we'll continue it, and look at some other ones. But we're gonna be looking at rosters in which we are, whether it's been unlucky or just plain out bad teams or a combination of both, kind of in these awkward spots. We're gonna go through. Give a little context and kind of work together to see what we can kind of do to help.
Yeah, and also, Blake, we already got Nahal in the chat. Nahal, welcome. And he says that, Blake, your mic is pretty quiet.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if it's possible to turn that up.
Thank you for letting me know that, Nahal. I just turned it up. So just let me know if that is too loud or too low still. I'll certainly adjust it.
And also Nahal says, yo, what's up, guys? Just dropped 140 and won my week in a start 8. Abuka to the moon. Oh, my gosh, yeah.
That's right.
Abuka had a monster game. Congrats on the win there, Nahal. He also says, another redraft trade question. Ooh. Carter, Travion Henderson, and Justin Herbert for Woody Marks, JCM, and Drake May. I really love May and JCM and hate Vrabel, so hopefully he accepts. And then he also says, also just dropped Elic Io Manor for Brashard Smith today. Thoughts? I mean, we both really like Brashard Smith. We think he's pretty sneaky. So, yeah, I mean, if you need a running back help, I think that's a fine move. I mean, Elick is probably someone you can more count on for production if you needed to like start him right away. But I would not be surprised to see like a mini breakout from Brashard Smith today. It feels like it's coming.
Yeah, similar bets. Exactly. If you need someone right now, you prefer Alec. I know you got a stacked receiver room. If that's the league we've helped you with, answered
Yeah.
stuff before. So yeah, I mean, running back if you need one, Brashard Smith's
Yeah, I like.
certainly a good stash.
Yeah, I like that move if you need some running back help and if you have a lot of depth already,
Yeah.
just in general.
What was that
your
trade
bench.
real quick that he?
Yeah, so the trade, Justin, let's see, wait, Michael Carter, Travion Henderson, and Justin Herbert for Woody Marks, JCM, and Drake May. So yeah, let's try to simplify this a bit. So the two quarterbacks are Herbert and May. Probably not like
Just
a huge difference.
Cross
That off.
Yeah,
so it's basically basically a swap of a pair of running backs. So which two running backs do you want? Travion Henderson and Michael Carter, or JCM and Woody Marks? So we can kind of put like Woody Marks and Travion Henderson kind of in a similar category. I mean, maybe you'd rather have Travion rest of the season just on like draft capital, pedigree, and so forth. But I mean, we have seen like a big game from Woody Marks 2 games ago. We haven't yet seen a big game from Henderson. So they're probably not like, I don't know. Is it crazy to say they're not too far off?
Yeah. If it was like redraft, and especially if I'm like just actually trying to win the league, like I'm still going with Henderson. But Woody Mark, it is very similar though. So I think
does it kind of come down to JCM or Michael Carter? And in that case, I think you take JCM pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean like JCM easily on that side, but it is a tough one where it's like, yeah, I mean like Henderson might be the best player in that deal come the end of the season, which is important. But again, I guess technically so could JCM and Woody Marks. We just don't know. So. God, that is a tough one. I think that's if you're a big Henderson guy, then I would say that that's completely acceptable.
Yeah.
But with Woody Marks, I think JCM and redraft is a really good bet right now. It's you can buy him low and or whatever off his like good game, but he hasn't been getting the volume yet, and I think it will come. So I do really like him in redraft. I think I would slightly prefer the May side still, just by a hair.
Okay, so the side with May, Woody Marks, JCM.
Yeah, because you are still getting 2 like rookie running back bets similar to Henderson on that side too. So for that reason, I would just give that hair. That's a tough one though.
Yeah, I think I'd lean that side slightly, but I think it's a pretty fair trade. And I'm assuming this is a full PPR league. Let us know if it's not. But yeah, I'd lean slightly that side. But again, like if you really believe in Travion Henderson, I'd have no issue taking that side.
Yeah, exactly. So, also, Dan, you're in charge of chat for now because I got to charge my iPad.
Okay,
so
fair enough. I am on it.
So keep an eye on that. But yeah, look, let's just jump in to our teams. We were gonna start with you, but then I just remembered. Do you have are you able to screen share in a moment, or do you want me to start with my team so that you could pull that up kind of?
I think I could screen share. Let's see.
You may have to log into Sleeper and all that stuff. So if you need time, I can just start since we're probably just gonna do one team each.
I'm good to screen share.
You're good? Okay, perfect. So let's start with you here. Change this.
I'll do it.
So
share.
Yeah. Should be.
Okay, and I'll say share.
There we go. That should be good for the viewers out there. They should be able to see everything good.
Okay, so yeah, we are going to be talking about Grease Bowl today, which is a league that Blake, you and I are both in together.
And we'll talk about both our teams in here today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about both our teams in here, so it's kind of interesting. And yeah, we both kind of have some conundrums here. Like we're each kind of facing a conundrum with our team in this particular dynasty league, for kind of similar but also different reasons. So we're starting with my team here. I was just thinking, like, would Dynasty Daddy have been better for showing this? What do you think?
No, I like Sleeper. We can actually see your lineup and draft picks, and let's just keep it with.
Okay, we'll stay on Sleeper here. Okay, so the starting lineup for like this week. I do have some injured players, but basically it was Jaden Daniels, Ashton Genty, Amari DeMercado, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Jamison Williams, Bashal Tutin, and Josh Allen. Oh, and we should give the format of this league. It is 12 teams, start 10. It's a super flex league, full PPR, and the tight end premium is 0.5. And there aren't any kind of big play bonuses or anything. And quarterbacks get 6 points per passing touchdown. And then just to show everyone my bench, I won't read off everyone, but I guess just a few highlights. I have Bucky Irving, who was out, and
Pearsall.
kind of like some typical depth players, like young players, rookies, Marvin Mims, actually, wait, I just traded Ricky Pearsall away, so I don't have Pearsall anymore. I traded him for JMO, basically, part of a bigger deal. And then have some like handcuff tight ends. I do have Evan Ingram. And let's see, in my IR slots, I have like Cedric Tillman, recently traded for Shadur Sanders. And on the tax, they got like Ben Sinnott, Malik Washington, Jaden Higgins, Efton Chisholm. So yeah, I mean, if you put Bucky Irving in my starting lineup and like in place of Amari Demercado, I don't know if I could actually do this just to make it like look nicer. And then, yeah, normally Tutin wouldn't be in there. I'm trying to think, like, who's my normal starter?
It would be Pearsall. Oh, no, you don't have Pearsall. Yeah, one of Ingram or Tillman.
Ingram or Tillman, or I guess maybe Malik Washington now. Although he had, like, the weirdest stat line. He had, like, 4 catches for 0 yards. So not exactly the start you wanted to see for him.
Mims. Yeah, so you got kind of like those, your last flex spots kind of like a questionable guy or Tutin or whatever. So, yeah, it's kind of one of these guys that you'll need to see.
You know what? Actually, I know why I'm confused now. Because in the trade I made, it involved me trading both Pearsall and Calvin Ridley for JMO and like a pick and some throw-ins. So, so normally, like just before I made this trade the other day, it was like both like Pearsall and Calvin Ridley. But now I basically kind of turned 2 into 1. So, yeah, now I guess like my last flex spot's going to be between like Tutin, Evan Ingram, maybe like Marvin. So I guess it's a little weak. But aside from that, I mean, it's a pretty good starting lineup, especially if you have once you put Bucky in there.
Yeah, a lot of teams are, especially like right about now in the season, have one of those like sketchy guys in the flex, anyways. Even some really good teams. So I'll pull it up for you here, just because it's not going to say it for you, like on your for the people looking and for you on the website. You're fourth in points for. I guess this is as before this week, and first in points against, and it looks like that'll probably continue because Andrew, friend of the channel, has like 190 points on you this week. So just as for context of your and your record will be, I mean this is set in stone. You'll be 1-4 after this week. So pretty bad run out as far as points for and against go. I mean, actually give an idea for like points. You have more points than, well, you have the 4th most points. We know that, but like a lot of the guys in ahead of you have 50 to 100 less points than you, kind of thing.
Yeah, so I definitely have had some bad luck having the most points scored against me. And yeah, I mean, the team has performed pretty well, obviously being 4th in points scored. And yeah, just kind of ran into a buzzsaw in Andrew this week. His team went nuts on me here. So what are you going to do there? I almost had pulled a trade off like basically Sunday morning where I would have gotten Rachaad White and Darren Waller. So that definitely would have helped me. I still think I ultimately would have lost anyways, though. And funny enough, I'm actually playing against Trent, who owns Rachaad White and Darren Waller next week. So, and he's a rebuilding team. So I probably don't even like need those guys to beat him next week, honestly. And hopefully after that, Bucky Irving's back. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that I wasn't able to get that trade to go through. But in any case, yeah, I'm kind of sitting in a funny spot here because I mean I have a pretty good team that's performing pretty well. It's just has had bad luck with a lot of points being scored against me. So, but I'm going to be sitting at 1-4 now. That is hard to overcome, but I don't want to say it's impossible. So, what do you do in a situation like this? I mean, I guess first of all, just like, what's your honest opinion of this team?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up there. I just again in my hands here, just looking over again, and this kind of really reminds me of our Walter White's lab team.
Mhm.
Really similar. Just as far as we could literally both have Josh Allen and a couple question marks down the board, but some really big stud players in it. Some couple guys underperforming. Like it's a good team. I guess the key difference is that in this one, this is one of those teams where you only have like an extra second, for draft picks and a couple extra fourths. Like,
Mhm.
normally with our teams, there's an extra first or like a load of kind of random picks dispersed. So, something to consider just with your draft capital. But you do have a lot of players that could, like, Tootin and some of these tight ends and whatever, rookies that can kind of, have their moments in the season, make it in your lineup. It does feel like you're kind of missing something on this team,
Mhm.
uh, or just as far as like confidence and less flex. But again, that's pretty normal to be having holes in your lineup. Other people do too,
Mhm.
um, and the
Yeah,
team's been good. Like
yeah,
you
it's
got
performed
Amon-Ra
well.
St. Brown on it, Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels. Of course, Daniels is. Here's the thing, like Daniels has been out for 2 weeks. I don't think he even had a quarterback to replace him. So, I mean, that's probably a big part of the reason why you even lost, two games, two matchups, anyways. It
Yeah.
certainly would have had something to do with it.
Yeah,
Um,
because I was having like start basically. I think it was like Cedric Tillman, like in
yeah,
my super flex spot. So yeah, definitely not ideal. I thought the rest of the team was strong enough to overcome that, and also yeah, what piggybacking off of what you said about my picks, I brought that up here for anyone that's watching. Yeah, I have my own 26 firsts and second. I also have an extra second. I'm missing my third, but I do have three 26 fourths, including my own.
yeah, exactly. So, a couple extra picks, but nothing like, you make one trade with a second and a fourth, and you're back to square one
Mhm.
for this year's draft capital and, an extra
Yeah.
third and fourth next year.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you're in a spot where you got to be careful, certainly making trades. I would certainly say the easy answer here is like, the roster's good. There's some reasons, some very clear reasons, like the point who you've played, not having Jade Daniels. Of course, now you're out Bucky and yeah, you're out Bucky. So, I mean, I would just say if I'm in your spot, I'm just hanging on. This is a pretty unlucky start for the first 5 weeks. And there's, what are you going to do? Like, trade Amon-Ra St. Brown or like Josh Allen? You know what I mean? Like, those guys are going to be, part of the reason why you're winning. Like, I suppose if you were to make a trade, it would be like, I don't know. Actually, yeah, Smitty had a good game. Like, can you turn Smitty into a package that may be like a 2-for-1 or something? But I still don't even think that's really like necessary at all.
Mhm.
And the market might not even be too hot on Smitty regardless. So I do like the team, and I wouldn't be too worried going forward, especially again knowing you play Trent. I looked at some other matchups, like you play me, and we're gonna go over my team in a moment.
Mhm.
Certainly no like guaranteed wins, but some of the easier matchups you can have for the next few weeks, I think you could easily bounce back to 4-4 by mid-season.
Yeah, I could. I mean, if I'm able to run off three straight here, get back to 500, I definitely feel like at least I'd have a shot at that point to make a push for a playoff spot. And then at that point, you can always like get hot, win the championship. We know the best team doesn't always win. Um, Although, I mean, I don't think this team is like. I mean, I'm not trying to like paint this as like, oh, this is just some like crappy team that has to get lucky or whatever. I mean, I definitely think it's in like the top handful of teams in this league in terms of overall roster and starting lineup and whichever way you want to look at it in terms of at least in terms of contending. So yeah, I mean, is this just a simple case of I just got unlucky and just stick it out? I mean, I have my 26 first, so there really isn't. Well, I guess you could argue that if I really feel like this team didn't have it, I could start tanking and improve where that 26 first is going to wind up. But considering that it's a good lineup and it's been scoring points, it's just gotten unlucky. I really feel like I just need to compete until I'm eliminated from the playoffs. Hopefully it doesn't come to that point, but basically just compete until it's clear that
Yeah.
that's no longer possible, right?
Yeah, exactly. If you get unlucky and you would lose like two of your next matchups, I mean, you really are gonna have to consider then just kind of, you know, making some moves, some obvious ones like, okay, well, what can you get for Devontae Adams and whatever, some of these other veteran players. Could consider some down tiers off, like, a red hot Amon-Ra, Josh Allen, things like that. Stuff that you'd obviously know to do.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even want to like even think about down tiering like a Josh Allen or Jaden Daniels. I mean, even like a St. Brown and a Genty, I really wouldn't want to touch. I guess anyone else I could say is sort of like fair game. And I'm always like looking for deals, for opportunities to trade and improve my team. But would this be a situation where you would consider kind of, I think before we've called this like the 1 foot in, 1 foot out approach, where maybe you make some calculated down tiers where you're down tiering to a player that you're hoping to get similar production from and still compete, but maybe you get younger, you also possibly like add a pick. So you're kind of hedging your bet a little bit. Like maybe you're decreasing your odds of contending like slightly by like a few percentage points, but you're getting younger, you're getting yourself a pick and you're setting up yourself better for the future. Is that something you would be looking to do here at all?
Yeah, I mean, if there were some really obvious ones, like I don't know that there is, like, again, because it's like, well, I think Smitty would be the one to do it with, but again, are people actually trading for Smitty? Mm-hmm. If they are, I think he's a way, a guy that you could try to pull that off with. Again, it's kind of one of those weird ones though, whereas like they have not been passing the football at all. You finally see a game where they pass it, and like I think, this hopefully could be more like the normal, right, of how they operate their offense. Or maybe just somewhere in between. Very difficult to know what even to do with him, again, because I don't know if there's a true sell high moment. But if you could get, I don't know, what would you need to get for Smitty? Like,
yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I feel like he's a guy that doesn't have a ton of trade demand, so it hasn't even really been on my mind to try to like down tier him. And he is coming off, let's see. Okay, I guess like 2 of the last 3 games have been pretty good. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, obviously this past week, yesterday was the best game with 114 yards, and the second most receiving yards after that is 60. So yeah, it really reflects what you were saying about just how little the Eagles have been passing the ball, which is a bit concerning. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of like realistically, like what could I expect to get from him that would work for me, and kind of it's hard to even imagine. Like, I mean, maybe like a Keenan Allen type. Like, what could I get on top of Keenan Allen? I mean, if I could get like Keenan Allen in a second, like I probably wouldn't hate that. I don't even know if anyone would offer that.
Nah, I wouldn't. I mean, dude, if you would have done that, I would have for sure gave you Keenan Allen like in a heartbeat. No, that wouldn't even cross my mind as a deal to accept for Smitty, like at all.
So you're saying you don't? You're saying if you own Smitty, you wouldn't want that?
I would 100% keep Smitty at that point. Yeah. That's not a deal I'm looking to make with like a Keenan Allen type. I mean, again, you're not gonna get a first, but it has been like 2 kind of just midweeks in a row for if it could get to the point where you could get a first in Keenan Allen and he's not first, then that's more what I'm looking for. I know you probably can't get that done, but
or what about this? I mean, what about Keenan Allen in a first and I give Smitty in a second, like let's say projected mid to late?
Yeah, I mean, like
or maybe a third, maybe that'd be a little.
I feel a lot better like a third. Yeah, but
let's say a third. Yeah.
I mean, I would think. That's one I would do if you were like really like you were more confident Keenan Allen's gonna be better than Devontae Smith going forward. Because if you were confident of that, I would think, okay, that's whatever. You're getting a clear pick upgrade or whatever. But
and do you own Keenan Allen in this league or someone else?
I traded him away for dirt cheap, by the way. So like I traded away for Brashard Smith and like a third.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. But actually, I mean, it seems cheap on the surface, but then when I thought about it more, I'm like, that actually could be pretty sneaky.
Well, I just don't like, I don't need Keenan Allen, so I'm happy to get Rashard Smith a third. I don't really think anyone would be willing to give me a second. I didn't even try it. Maybe I should have sent that out.
Yeah, I mean, I wish you came to me. I mean, like I may have given you like a second for Keenan Allen and I don't know, a third or fourth, something like that. Maybe we could have worked something out. But
see, that's the thing. That's why I didn't even offer it though, because I wanted to actually get like I would way rather get a third in Brashard Smith or whatever, the 2-for-1 and the guy that has a chance. Like that's a way more attractive deal. Like
I can see that. Yeah, getting the leverage there. So, so I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to like look into some like crafty down tiers, but I feel like there aren't like too many candidates for it because again, I don't think Smitty has a ton of trade demand right now. I guess Devontae Adams is a guy that would probably have pretty good trade demand, so maybe I could look into that. But yeah, beyond that, there's no one else obvious that really like jumps
Yeah.
out to me, unless I could like sell Evan Ingram high off of a good game. Maybe people think like, okay, he's back now. I want to believe that. I'm not entirely sure what to think.
Yeah. Again, that's
I
one
don't know. I
where
mean, like, it might just be a team where I just kind of sit on my hands and ride it out unless a
yeah.
good, great opportunity, falls into my inbox.
I really think it is. Again, like I'm looking at these other players and just like I just don't think it's the week to trade them anyways or whatever or the time frame. So I do really think this is one where yeah, you just kind of see what happens. I mean, a lot of times it can suck to do that, but like this really is a team that I don't know if you need to do anything at all. I think
Mm-hmm.
doing things might actually harm your chances of potentially getting those 3 straight wins you need, and you might not even get much out of it, right? You might not add any draft capital if you push your
Yeah.
chips in. Again, it might not make any difference at all. So I would say it's smart to just kind of hold and take a week by week. And if you keep getting unlucky, oh well, you'll have to then get some tier downs and get some picks
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, I can make more moves at that time once it's like obvious that I just am forced to rebuild this team. But hopefully it won't come to that point. And we won't even dive too deep into like how my team got into this place. Again, not to suggest like it's in like some horrible bad shape, but I think I could have done even better with this roster. I think the big mistake I made in the offseason is I did too many tier up trades where I was like, essentially like tiering up to get to the 101 to draft Ashton Genty. I paid a lot for Bucky Irvin in this league because like running backs are like impossible to trade for. So I basically gave, what was it, like a late first and Addison for like Bucky Irving and some kind of like late pick. So that was pretty expensive. And then I traded like 3 firsts for like Amon-Ra St. Brown and like an early second. Can't remember exactly what it was, like 203, 204, somewhere in
You
there.
traded up for Josh Allen as well as the big one that stands out.
Oh yeah, I tiered up to Josh Allen. So I mean, I don't regret that one. That's probably the one I feel best about. And honestly, I mean, it's in a way like, I mean, St. Brown's been so good. In a star 10, it's hard to feel too bad about getting St. Brown with how good he's been and just how consistent he is year in, year out. But still, process wise, I wish I hadn't done quite that many tier ups. I mean, I think I could have lived with the Josh Allen and St. Brown one if I didn't like trade up so much for like the 101. I mean, what did I give up? Like the 102 and 104, and I think I got Ashton Genty and what was it, like the 112?
112? Yeah.
Yeah. So that was probably a bit of an overpay. I was just like, yeah, really into the Ashton Genty hype. But yeah, it's like I always say, I like to tier up when there's certainty and tier down when there's uncertainty. There's usually uncertainty in the off season, so that's when I want to be tiering down more. And there's a lot more certainty in the season when points are being scored and we see who the league winners are. That's when I want to tier up. So yeah, I think I had a lot of assets to play with in the offseason. So I think the mistake was I could afford to maybe like splurge on like 1 or 2 like tier ups or, trade purchases. But I think I just went a little too far with it. Like, I mean, I think basically between like Genty, Bucky, St. Brown, and Josh Allen, I shouldn't have bought all 4 of those guys. I should have bought like 2.
Yeah.
I should have bought like 2 of them at the most, like 1 or 2 at the most.
Yeah, and you had some guys like Debo Samuel and stuff like that. I don't know, but it like, I mean, Debo once has one, he's doing really well. Like, so you did take some shots at that. I don't know what happened to them. They got traded at some point, but had you, I don't know, thrown some darts at guys like Debo or some random running backs that could give you a few weeks, or whatever. I mean, there's a lot that are doing well this year. It is hard to trade for running backs in this league, but yeah, I mean, it does feel like, if you did make those tier ups and you maybe you made, I don't know, just half of those tier ups, and then the rest you just kind of went with a cheaper option, your team like might actually be doing better, and you might have a lot of just by chance of whatever has happened with the weekly matchups and stuff. It probably wouldn't be doing any worse than what you're doing already, and for record wise at least. And you might have a bunch of picks or something banked or whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, it is one where, I mean, I do think you paid a lot in the tier ups. but you did want to contend, so like, it makes sense. But
Mhm.
I guess that's why it's like one of those ones where it's like be cautious, pick pick the tier ups that I don't know are like that are fair or make sense instead of like kind of going out and tearing out by any means possible. I really think
Yeah,
that's
because
going to be a
I mean,
better lesson.
I think in theory, Josh Allen and St. Brown were smart tier ups, just in a general sense. Not talking about like the specific trades I made, because maybe I did overpay for St. Brown slightly. Although I think it aged pretty well. But in any case, um, Josh Allen and Amon-Ra St. Brown are so good year in year out. I think those are pretty safe tier ups to make in the offseason. I think tearing up to Genty and Bucky were the risky ones that I probably should have avoided. But again, like I wanted running backs to start the year, that could like start me off fast and give me a good chance to contend. So it's kind of ironic that I end up
Yeah.
starting like 1-4, because I specifically made those moves to avoid this very scenario. But maybe I just should have lived with getting a ton of rookie running backs if I had kept a lot of those picks and just hope they develop sooner than later. But yeah, I think it's usually good not to rush a rebuild. And, I was rebuilding last year. So I think I got it just a little ahead of myself, and I just tried to accelerate it and not only contend, but even start the season hot. So I think that's the lesson, is just, I'm not saying you could like never make a move to try to start the season fast coming out of rebuild, but I wouldn't do too many of those, because you're just going to end up kind of rushing it and overpaying and just kind of forcing it, when it's better to let your team tell you when it's ready to contend, not the other way around.
Yeah, no, exactly. And actually, you're talking about the Amon Ra one. That I think this is like the best. Because yeah, I've been saying like I don't want to trade 3 firsts for one of these players, whether it's Amon Ra, even if it's Jefferson and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter how they're doing, because Amon Ra is absolutely killing it. So yeah, I mean, still the thing is that like even when he's killing it, I guess if you live in a different range of outcomes, like this is like great, like something to look back on for people or for their next off season if someone gets faced with this, that's watching this, is like if you got 3 firsts and someone says, "Oh, Chase is worth 3 firsts," well, maybe look for a more creative way to get the deal done or something. Because even
Mm-hmm.
though the big key with there too was like it was 3 firsts this year, and I don't even like know exactly what they were, but like if we're just looking down the board of like you might have had like Tet, Igbuka, and
Right. Yeah.
Warren or something like that, right? So it's like, or Dart and Igbuka and yeah, Tet or something. So even though it's like it's working well with how he's doing, it's still one of those trades where like even in like literally 100th percentile outcome for Amon-Ra St. Brown so far, it's still a deal I'd like want back at the end of the day, which I think is like a good lesson for just like don't trade 3 current firsts for like a player. Like get creative around it, like and do some kind of like swap with a player, hopefully, or trade a veteran or something. Um, but
Yeah,
that's an
because
interesting one to look back on.
there's so much upside with these rookies, and I must have lost sight of that. And I was just excited to accelerate the rebuild. So I think that was the big
Yeah,
mistake I made. And then yeah, looking back on this trade, I even had to throw in like 2-4. So yeah, I think it's fair to say it was a slight overpay. And I mean, going into, well, like earlier in the offseason, I had like 1,025,000 rookie picks,
yeah,
and I moved like most of them to do all these like high end tier ups. And then even in the rookie draft, I think I traded like 3 picks to like move up and get Bashal Tutin, because I was just really high on him. And even though like at the time it seemed like, oh, it was really good deal for Tutin, because it was just like a couple late picks I think I had to add to like move up and get him, where I felt like he should have like gone like picks earlier. Still, like when you add up all these trades, I lost like a lot of depth, and that's why my bench doesn't look better than it is. Where I could have had like a lot of like fun rookies that were going in rounds 2, 3, and 4, filling out my bench and giving me a
yes.
lot of upside.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially in like this draft too. But even if you look at like last draft, like yeah, I mean, had you just like, I mean, like literally, it's hard to know with your team, but like let's just say you just did the Josh Allen trade, and then the rest you just picked rookies. Like
Yeah,
your team might be doing better somehow. I mean,
yeah,
it's just how good these rookies have been, or at least better from like this point on, especially.
yeah.
Just with how some of these rookies have been coming out of nowhere and good since day one. So, yeah,
Yeah, and I'd also
it's
like traded a rookie pick for like Calvin Ridley. So yeah, I think I was just like I was just got a little too trigger happy with like just throwing these picks around
yeah,
and going from rebuild to contender. So definitely, I mean, it's something I should have already known, but I just got carried away because, I mean, basically I had so many picks. I can't remember what the exact number was, but I want to say I had like 18, 25 rookie picks. And it was like, I can't possibly make all these. I got to do some kind of tier ups with them because I just don't have the roster room in here. So I think I just got a little carried away with that.
Yeah, I guess so. And, yeah, it can be a problem. But I guess, like, if you are going to do that, hopefully you still come up with, like, I think you only have, like, 2 picks next year. So, like, that would be, like, the one thing I would say is, like, how do you end up with only 2 extra picks, like a third and a fourth next year? Some of the trades that you could have done could have, like, been, creating generational wealth, like, in future years as well as getting your team better. But I absolutely made the worst trade of probably my dynasty career. It doesn't even matter what happens with the player, like in the future. It's already the worst trade because of what the value is right now. Is there anything else you want to say about your team? Because I'll transition to mine.
No. Yeah, we can transition to yours, but let's just catch up on the chat real quick. We got Seb in the chat. Welcome. He says, we in the same exact situation, Dan, as in my all-in league with Dan. Me and Boutte make the greatest comeback ever, though, in both leagues. Don't give up, bro.
Yeah, said,
okay,
me
hey.
And you. That's what he said. Me and you are about to make the greatest comeback. So, hey, I wish you luck. I hope you do, Seb, because I traded you first back. That was the one in the trade we made.
Oh, he's talking about waste management, where I'm co-managing with Seb, right?
Nope, he's talking about the all-in or die trying league, which is the one I made the Purdy field swap. Remember that big deal on our last stream?
Okay.
The trade negotiation.
Oh yeah, you guys, the negotiating table. Yeah. You guys made the deal live.
What's hilarious? We traded away like half our starting lineup, Trent and I, and we're a 2-2 team, and we put up 200 points on Jacob, which sucks because he's a rebuilder. But like,
right.
we dude, Rico Dowdle was just living in my lineups this week. Like, yeah, I mean, Rico Dowdle was just the greatest guy, and there was a few other guys that were like super random starts that were just awesome this week for us. So that was hilarious that we actually had a good week. I thought we might lose it to a rebuilder that week, this week, but worked out well. And yeah, Seb's having a great week, especially with all the players we traded Seb in that deal had like a good week. It was
okay.
Fields,
Fields had a big week.
Olave had a solid week, nothing crazy, and
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we sent his first back, so that was important. So he lost.
Yeah.
So
you got Purdy. I mean, great long-term quarterback to have. Whereas
Mac Jones put up a good week for us too.
Hey, look, yeah, exactly. So yeah, you didn't even lose too much in terms of having a good week. So then we also have Nahal again in the chat saying, would you all do Herbert and Carter for Baker Mayfield and Tyler Algier? I want my Bijan handcuff, and the Chargers O-line is really worrying me.
Yeah, I prefer Baker rest of the season. Those receivers are going to be coming back, and he's already been as good as Herbert. I just give me Baker as long as you don't need him to start Michael Carter right now. I don't know about you, Dan.
Yeah, if you don't need to start Michael Carter, I think that's a fine trade to make. Yeah, I mean, I don't have like a strong opinion on like Herbert versus Baker rest of the season, but maybe the tiebreaker goes to Baker because he doesn't have the O-line issues that Justin Herbert's experiencing right now, and which has kind of caused him to come back down to earth a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I like having Algier as a Bijan handcuff. So yeah, I think it's a good trade.
Yeah, it's nothing like like a smash, but I think it makes sense. And yeah, I mean, listing like 2 really really good tackles is certainly concerning. You could argue it makes him scramble more or something like that, but I'm just gonna take like Baker Mayfield over him. And I don't normally feel very strong about like pocket passer versus pocket passer. They're all flip flop all the time.
Yeah. Also, speaking of smash the like button. We got 12 people in here. Appreciate it. Good to have everyone here. And yeah, Blake, let's jump into your team. So yeah, for anyone that's just joined us, kind of just doing like a mid-season checkup here at some of our dynasty teams that present something of a conundrum. So we just looked at my team in this league called Grease Bowl that Blake is also in, and he is also facing a conundrum in this league. So what do I click? Stop share?
Yeah. Click. No, you can just go pull up my team on.
Oh, your team. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna. Let's see how it looks.
Yeah. Oh shoot, because
Yeah, I'm hoping we kind of do what we did with your team, where like we can start week 6 because the players on bye and hurt and stuff like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Let's
I'll
see if
try to
we.
pull it up, unless you can try to.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on. Cancel out. Like click
Okay.
out, and then go to matchup, and then go to week 6, and then I'll
Oh,
try
okay.
to set like the lineup there, just so it like we don't have
Yeah.
to go scrolling through everything.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. So week 6, and then. Oh wait, did it? Wait, did I do the right thing? So it's on matchup right now.
and
So
then
me and Trent.
oh, okay. Sorry, go to league and then do the same thing if
Okay.
it lets you go to week 6. If not, we can change it over.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Week 6. All right, and then we'll look for Blake's team. Here we go.
And then
Okay. Yeah, it's not the greatest view here. What do you think, Blake?
yeah, I'll quickly change it over here. So yeah,
Okay.
you just click,
Stop share.
you just click stop share, and then I'll pull it up here.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
For those watching, but and I'll just make sure I share my screen with you so you can see. All right, perfect. So, anyways, yeah, here's my team. So I'll go to week 6 so you can kind of see. I do have Burrow on IR, but I have like Browning in there. So I mean, let me go over what was it for. I guess for points, I'll go over points for and stuff in record first.
Yeah.
I'm currently going to be 1-4 after a premature victory celebration by Coda saying to pack my bags. And then some garbage time, 2 touchdowns from Chase, and then 3 from Browning. And Ibuka was doing well, and then I ended up just like beating Coda by 20. But I mean, it was a great garbage time by my team.
Yeah.
So we're sending.
Yeah, I love it. You know, you put Coda in his place. He loves to talk some trash, and he doesn't always wait for the matchup to actually be finished.
Yeah.
He was also talking trash, and I think it was in this league where he was like, "Oh yeah, I got the 2 best like rookie running backs." I believe alluding to Omarion Hampton and Quinshot Judkins. Well, Omarion Hampton is injured now, and it wasn't but like hours later that Ashton Jenkins had his big like breakout 3 touchdown game, and so yeah, I meant to put in like the league chat like, "Hey, looks like you spoke a little too soon there, Coda."
Yeah,
but I love him.
He's got to be careful with that. But yeah, his team's been coming along a nice, good surprise this year. And yeah, anyway, so let's go to week 6 here so we can actually see.
Yeah, basically, like Coda did like probably what I should have done in terms of like going from rebuilder and trying to turn it into a contender. He didn't rush it. Actually, I mean, I made the trades with him.
You made the trades with him, so like you
yeah, exactly. Like he was doing it the right way. Yeah. I was like rushing things, and then he got like all my picks by like trading me the 101 so I could get Genty, trading me Bucky Irving. So yeah, good on Coda there. And then sure enough, he has Judkins producing earlier than expected, and then Hampton has his breakout game. What was it, like week 4 before then? Now he's gotten injured, which is just bad luck. But yeah, he was doing it a better way than me.
Yeah, his team's been coming along nice. So yeah, this is the team. I'll just read it out for anyone. Penix and Burrow would be the quarterbacks, but it's Browning as the QB2 right now.
Yeah, and to clarify, this is your team, not Coda's.
Yeah, this is my team, and the AR's on there, so we'll see if that is ever anything. But Breece Hall is basically the only running back. It's like Rashard Smith and like Ray Davis.
Yeah, because you just recently made some trades.
I just traded away 3 running backs.
Like Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, and one other. So, but you were pretty stacked.
Yeah, I traded in one of them. I got K9 back, and I traded him, and I've also traded away Chuba Hubbard this week. So I traded away like 4 running backs this week. Because there's like not really a chance I win.
Yeah, so you're kind of doing. I mean, would you say you're going like full rebuild at this point, or is it kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
Well, I would call it full rebuild, but I think normally when you say full rebuild, like that means you're getting rid of guys like Jamar Chase and Buka and CeeDee Lamb and Brian Thomas. But like, I mean, I'd be open to trading them again. I actually just traded Jefferson in a trade, but I got Lamb back in it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to say correction, not full rebuild, but have you officially like given up on contending this season?
Pretty much. I mean, funny enough, like when you have like enough of these players, like if Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb, these guys perform like right. They should, like I don't really need an RB2 anyways, So it's like, I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to win. I don't think I'll win, but I have enough good players where if they actually just aren't garbage for a week, like Brian Thomas figures it out. For all I know, I might be buying a running back. I just highly doubt it. Is all. Is how the season's gone. So I'm preparing as if I've already lost.
So yeah, maybe your team surprises you, but you're sort of preparing to not contend.
Yeah. So 1-4, but yeah, again, like this team, like it's not even bad luck, man. Like the team's just been awful, right? This is a team that's had, Derrick Henry's been brutal. I've had Henry in my lineup every week except for this week. Kamara's been really disappointing. Had him. He's been okay though. Same thing. Jefferson and Chase and Penix and Burrow / Browning. The worst quarterbacks you could have through 3 weeks. I mean, auto losses basically if you had that combination. Like I think they combined for like an average of like 16 points or even less in the first 3 weeks. It was absolutely brutal. So this team was just doomed from the start. The way everything's went. So I've been basically, and this is also a great lesson I'll get into about trading your first, regardless of how good your team is, because that was revolving my biggest mistake ever, and it's one I hound on this channel all the time. But anyways, the team is in a good spot at least. I got some rookies, and Hawkinson, he's on the bench. Travis Hunter's on the bench, so the other names around that aren't too interesting, but some rookies like Jalen Noel or whatever. But Torrey Horton and Njoku I didn't name, Brian Thomas in the last flex. So some dudes.
And what about your picks? What do you have for 26?
So before this week, I had like no extra picks in 2026, which is like so rare. I mean, that's the only league I would ever have that. Was with this team. I now have a 2026 first of one of the best teams in the league, his third, and another good team's third. So a first and 2/3.
Oh, so you don't have your own first in 26?
No, that's what I'm going to say with the worst trade that I've ever made.
I didn't know that. I just assumed you had your own first. So that's unexpected there. That makes it, that throws a wrench in the gears here.
Yeah, which is again, like, I mean, luckily this is like the one team where, okay, like, I can
be fine.
I'll be all right.
Needless to say, like, there's a lot of talent on this team.
I'll be all right. But it would be really nice to have my first right now, because then I could actually, like, really get points on my roster. I have no motivation to do that right now. That's why there's absolutely, like, I would be absolutely pushing to sell more stuff if I had my first. I don't even have my second. I don't even have my third. I don't have my fourth. So, again, coming in here, basically you and I were like, I would say, and maybe Andrew were the top favorites of this league, and Andrew's the only one that's not 1-4 right now.
Yeah.
There are some other stronger teams. Again, JP's really solid as well, and he's doing well.
But I mean, if you had looked at your roster and my roster, like going into week 1, I mean, it would have been like, oh man, like, these teams are just going to go on a tear this season. And so it's been nuts how they've disappointed for record wise, at least for different reasons. Like mine having bad luck with the points against, and then yours just with like your studs underperforming.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, the worst trade I ever made, I got to highlight that this is like the worst trade ever. Is when we do our live rookie draft that happens the day after the NFL draft, and you can also check that out, by the way, the footage of this. I'm the biggest proponent for do not trade your first. But I'm like, however, if you have a team that's like like half your guys are like first round redraft picks, and you got depth, like sure you can make some trades, tier up. Made a terrible one. Went to when Hunter was falling, which I would have taken him at the 102. He was at the 105, and I offered the same deal to a couple people. One person rejected it, so it couldn't have been like that at the time. It was basically my first that was looking like it was going to be really late.
Yeah.
Chris Olave, which was not a hot name, but I really like Chris Olave regardless, and that should have been a sign. I shouldn't have been trading him at all. And I added my second in, which again is supposed to be late. So it was like late first, late second, and Olave for literally just Travis Hunter, which immediately after I realized, like, that was not a good deal. Like, Hunter has to be amazing to pay that off. And I really like Chris Olave, so that was really stupid. But that's the beauty of it.
Who has more trade value right now, Travis Hunter or Chris Olave?
Exactly.
It might be Chris Olave. I mean, it depends on the manager, but like, you arguably just gave away a first and a second there. So,
early one, and an early first and second.
It could be an early one. So that just goes to show you, like,
do not trade your first.
Bet on uncertainty in the off season. Don't assume that, oh, Travis Hunter's going to be the stud and Olave is just going to be underwhelming, because like we don't really know that. It's the off season.
Literally, like my rule, I think from now on, do not trade your first until you're in season. Just don't do it.
Yeah,
If this
exactly.
team cannot win, like I don't care what your team is, you're not gonna. You have no guarantees that this won't happen to you. I mean, so we'll take a quick break here for Adrian in the chat.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say. So welcome to the channel. He says was offered Pickens and Kyren Williams for CMC. And he says that he has Bucky and Hampton out. Okay, so you're dealing with some running back injuries. So you currently own Kyren Williams, and you were offered, or no, you currently own CMC. You were offered Kyren Williams and George Pickens. So yeah, I mean, we're assuming this is like a shallow redraft league. What are your thoughts, Blake? Does that make sense given that he's hurting with some depth right now due to some couple running back injuries?
I think we need to know your team record first of all, in half PPR or full PPR, by the way.
I mean, I'm going to assume full PPR, but yeah, Adrian, let us know if there are any specifics of like the scoring or the league that we should know about.
Yeah, Pickens is really solid. Again, I think I like Kyren more than most people do, though I'm not like crazy about him.
Yeah.
But CMC is like, I mean, basically, I think he's like the only player not to score like under 20 points in a week this so far. I mean, even I don't know Puka as well. So right now with like CMC and Puka, okay, he is 4-1 by the way. He just cleared that up. I mean, the issue is like, you know, you got Lamb coming back. Could be this week. Could be next week.
Here's the big question, Adrian. What's the worst player in your starting lineup right now with your roster as is? Like, who's in your last flex spot? Like, if you let us know what player that is, then we can get an idea of like, okay, you know, George Pickens would be a huge upgrade over that guy you have in your flex now.
Yeah, he has Rashad White and Troy Franklin. He says in the flex. It looks like.
Okay.
So not great with Franklin, but okay. But he has Rashad White for Bucky Irving. I mean, that's like a pretty. At least for now, it looks like a lateral move. Like that's not even an injury to worry about when you have.
So wait, are you starting both Rashad White and Troy Franklin like in 2 flex spots, or you're just starting one of those guys each week?
Sorry,
let us know that.
Downs and it's Troy Franklin that he has to start. That are his worst.
Like one of them or both of them each week?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we're assuming you have to start both Josh Downs and Troy Franklin every week. And I mean, also it'd be helpful to know like what's like the best player on the waiver wire, like right now. Like I mean, can you usually get like pretty good like startable players off the waiver wire that you can throw into your lineup? I mean, that is the case in most shallow redraft leagues, which is what most people play in. So I mean, it is tempting to just say that guys like CMC and Puka are just like untradeable in shallow redraft leagues. But I mean, everyone has a price. I mean, Pickens has been like red hot lately. I mean, Kyron's coming off a monster week. Gosh, that's a tough one. But yeah, if you have to start both Downs and Franklin each and every week, and there's not like a ton on waivers, like I could see doing the move. But if the waiver wire is pretty plentiful, I'd probably just hold CMC.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I lean. It's one where Kyron can put up these great weeks and everything. So, but again, you are getting an extra player with Pickens. He's been red hot. I think he'll still continue being really good. But, you know, the second Lamb's back, that's going to, you know, this sure production's going to be begin to be more inconsistent. So I'd be very wary about that. I mean, CMC, again, and Puka are like and Amon-Ra, it feels like, are the closest things you can have to like a, 20 to 30 point performance until they get hurt or whatever right now. To me, like that is just the most valuable thing you can have, especially in redraft. And I'm just figuring it out through the waiver wire. You know, is there Diami Brown on waivers who was good outside of injury, or Torrey Horton or one of these guys? Someone will emerge from these waivers.
I mean, every week, there are going to be guys that emerge. So I don't know if you're on a fab system or just kind of like what do you call it? Like rolling waivers where like if you make a claim, then you go to last kind of thing. But I have to think that you can figure some things out on waivers. I mean, maybe if he was willing to give you like a 3-for-1 where he's throwing you like a third good player and then like you're loaded in the flex, like maybe I could see it. But yeah, I think I'd just hold CMC. I mean, in shallow redraft leagues, like in 2-for-1 deals, you usually want to be getting the one. You usually want to be the guy tearing up. So it would really take a lot and it would have to really make sense to make a move like that. So I'd probably just keep CMC.
What I would say is you want to make a trade, especially for a receiver. It doesn't sound, well, number one, you're going to have to sell them low. Is like, okay, well, you're 4-1. I don't think you need to do this, but I would still look at the option of just trading Bucky or Hampton to some other one player that for some reason would want to buy them and just see what
Yeah.
you can get there. And I would just keep, dude, you got to get the first round buy. Like, that is the most important thing you could do. You know, I mean, that's the best way you can actually improve your chances. Honestly,
Yeah.
getting a first round buy is like more important than having an optimal lineup in weeks, 16 and 17. Like, it's just getting there. That's like the most important part. So
I mean, could you trade Amari and Hampton for George Pickens straight up? Like maybe that's something you could throw out there.
yeah, him or another receiver in that realm that you really like, because maybe there's actually a potential better one you like. But I know Pickens has been amazing.
Yeah.
Again, it depends on what you think with Lamb's back. I think that's a better move than trading CMC personally. I think you need to try and stay red hot and get this first round bye. I think, and I know that you could argue that Kyron and Pickens could help you get there.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah, and maybe if you strike out with like getting a receiver that could help you like right away, maybe you could settle for like trading for Rashee Rice, so maybe like Hampton for Rice,
oh
something
my
like
god,
that.
yeah, I don't think you'd be able to do that at all. But maybe you can add something. But that would be a smash.
Yeah, maybe you can do a 2-for-1 where you're giving away the 2 and getting the 1. So yeah, I would experiment with some other options before. I mean, moving CMC would have to be an absolute like last resort where you just like you're absolutely forced to.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes in redraft, it doesn't even really matter what your flexes are. If you have CMC and these Puka guys and they're on, it really doesn't matter what your flex is. Like, bonus points if they score you anything,
Yeah, and you'll probably eventually figure it out. Like, I mean, eventually, like, the player you add from waivers will hit, and then boom, like, you're good at flex now.
Eventually, Hampton will be back,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like,
yeah, I think you'll be fine. Yeah, Bucky will be coming back, and Rashad White should be performing well, at least from a fantasy perspective. In the meantime, I believe he had over 20 points yesterday. So, yeah, I think you'll be good. I'd explore some other options that don't involve you losing CMC.
Yeah, and then welcome, John. Hope you're still here as well because you put this in a couple minutes ago. Dynasty League. Okay.
Hey, let's go. Dynasty question.
There we go. Love to see those. Full PPR.
Yeah, he says it's a full PPR, and he is giving Bijan, and he would get a late 26 first, a 27 first, a 27 second.
Except,
and
I don't even hear it's Ted McMillan.
Is that Ted McMillan? Yeah, it better not be Jalen McMillan.
That's definitely Ted McMillan. Except,
yeah, 100%. I mean, Ted McMillan has just massive potential. He's a great buy low right now, if you even can. I mean, most managers.
I do not care what the format is. I do not care. Like, honestly, like, I would do it. I would easily do it for just Ted in the first, personally, just the way I'm playing Dynasty.
Yeah.
And could build a team around that. I would easily do McMillan in a first.
Yeah, if that's Ted McMillan, I would smash accept that. And I love Bijan, but
yeah, I mean, I really think Bijan. Again, I know that there's like him smashing everything. I don't really think he's worth I know it's not popular. I don't think he's really worth more. I think it's a fair deal for just the picks alone. I feel like you're getting very close to a free Tech McMillan in this deal.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that. But yeah, even like Tet in a first, I think would probably be pretty fair. So it kind of feels to me like you're getting a free first and a free second. So yeah, I would 100% do that. I mean, even if I'm contending, and that even hurts me slightly in the short term while I'm waiting for Tet McMillan to fully break out, that's still probably too much value to pass up.
No, I mean, like, literally what I would say is, like, if you were really worried about that, you want to win, like, go put that first and second together and see if you can get, like, CMC or something like that. And, like, okay, now you have CMC, Tet McMillan, and still a first. So, I mean, like, dude, that is textbook. That is the easiest accept ever, in my opinion. That is, I mean, you did say you give and you would receive. So, yeah, absolutely smash that. I hope you're still here to hear that. So
yeah.
And then also Adrian was just saying, worried about
workload.
I don't know if that was about CMCs or Kyron. I would just say if it was CMCs, might feel like it increases his injury. I would rather CMC keep getting 30 touches a game personally, because that's why he's been so good for fantasy.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's probably just concerned. Yeah, CMC could get hurt with the amount of touches he's getting. Adrian also says, I like the idea of having Justin Jefferson, JSN, and George Pickens while having Breece Hall, Amari Hampton, Bucky Irving, Rashad White. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, maybe it sounds like you're struggling to get receiver depth, even though that's usually more plentiful in these kind of shallow redraft leagues. But, I mean, I can see it. I mean, you have pretty good running back depth, but I just feel like CMC is just too good to not have on your team. He's just one of those players that, I mean, on these years where like you have that like legendary running back kind of season, or legendary wide receiver season, like the win percentage is so high
Yeah.
in these type of leagues where like if you own that player, I mean, I think they said like it was for like a recent CMC big season, it was like
It's like 50%.
45% of like people that owned them like won their league. I mean, it's just like
Yeah, it's
crazy.
like over 50% to go to the finals. Like, I mean, you just think how ridiculous that is, that one player,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't really matter what you have
The rest
outside
of
of
your
that.
team is, yeah,
Hopefully everyone didn't get hurt is basically what that says, or
yeah.
was complete trash. So, yeah, I really think, like, the most important thing in redraft, specifically, is just identifying who those, like, 3 or 4 true league winners are, and
Mhm.
keeping them on your roster or trading for them.
Yeah.
Because really nothing else matters as much as we think so. Especially, yeah, if you look at the data, I mean, it's overwhelming for you need to have those kind of dudes on your team.
Yeah, and it does sound like he has good running back depth because he also has Kyron Williams. So can you take 2 of those running backs and trade them for like Puka Nacua or something like that? I mean, maybe that's something you should do.
He would be getting him in like a CMC deal, it sounds like. So I'm not sure. Maybe it would be like Jefferson and Kyron. I mean, that definitely sounds good. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, if you could get Jefferson and Kyron, okay, well, you could probably twist my arm, but still, it's one of those ones where it's like, okay, Kyron better be good and keep it up, because Justin Jefferson, I don't have like really that much confidence as others might have, and I'm a Vikings fan.
Well, doesn't Adrian currently own Justin Jefferson?
Not that I've seen. I looked at his starters. It says Josh Downs, JSN, Quentin Johnston. So, oh, Justin Jefferson on bye. I see. Sorry, that's my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I completely misread that. So, yeah, that would be nice. I would just, yeah, if you have Justin Jefferson on bye, yeah, dude, that you're in a good spot. You don't need Troy Franklin in your lineup. That's even more like evidence than I just completely didn't even realize he had Justin Jefferson. So,
Yeah, and
old CMC is my.
yeah, and I believe Adrian said he has okay, he's 4-1 right now. So like, it's going well. Like, why even mess with that? I mean, I think there's a reason you're 4-1, and I think CMC is like a huge part of that. So if you go messing with that and get cute, I think you'll just like end up regretting it and saying I just should have kept CMC and figured something else out. But honestly, like, it sounds like a good team. Like, I don't even think you really even need to do much. But if you were going to do a trade, I would do something that did involve Christian McCaffrey.
I would say go get Rashee Rice on this team by any means possible.
Yeah.
That would be the best way I could think to really try and overload your team.
Yeah, and by the way, John's still here. He says thanks. So yeah, I'm glad he heard our advice here. Yeah. And also, Blake, we do have Chiefs Jaguars playing right now, so we should probably try to wrap this up soon. Do we want to finish? Yeah. Can we finish up your team here, and then we'll call it a night?
So I was just saying the team, the picks. Dan, what do you think of this team? You're in the league as well, obviously, as we've went over.
Yeah, I mean, I really like it. I mean, I thought, I mean, your team was also loaded going into last season, and it had like the unluckiest year of all time. And then going into this year, you figure like, okay, that there's no way that can happen again. And in a different way, it did. I mean, this time it wasn't like an absurd amount of points allowed. That transferred over to me, but instead it was just like all these studs just not performing like studs. So it's just weird. It does kind of seem like this team has been cursed a bit, but I mean, it's just loaded with talent. I mean, yeah, I mean, you look at the receivers and you see Chase and Lamb and Abuka, and then if Brian Thomas can ever get back to his old self, yeah, I mean, you could really, I mean, just like those players alone, I mean, you could like build around. And then let's see, with quarterbacks, yeah, you have Burrow. I mean, he's healthy next year, I mean, he's a stud. Penix has been kind of up and down, but I mean, we've seen the flashes, so hopefully he develops into something more consistent. You cashed out on a lot of your running backs, but I mean, still you have Breece Hall. And yeah, I mean, who even cares about your RB2? You got some solid tight ends like an Njoku and Hawkinson, although, yeah, they haven't been great this year. But I mean, it's not a bad spot to be in. It's just unfortunate how lucky you've been. So, yeah, in terms of what I would do with this, yeah, I mean, you don't own your first, so that does make it like.
That's my thought is like, how do I get this first? Because this thing, I don't think I need it, like, but you want it. Like,
sure.
So if I get a fair deal off, what do you think about that, about getting the first?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can, like, wait for, I mean, even, like, some of these non-studs to like have like a monster week? And then is there some way you can like package a few of them together and maybe a pick and like get your first somehow? I mean, you're great at like getting creative with trades. So I'm sure you come up with something, but like maybe if like Breece Hall is a monster game, like what can you package with Breece Hall to like get your own first back, something like that I would look into. So yeah, I would definitely say open to that possibility. But yeah, I wouldn't like absolutely feel like I had to force it and get my first back because I mean it's always such a chore doing that. I mean, I hate going into trade negotiations not having the leverage. Like
Yeah.
it's just like the worst thing. I avoid it like the plague because I just hate being in that position where because it's like with power, it's like they have like all the power in the negotiation. It's just not a fun spot to be in. So and yeah, you have some young players like Torrey Horton and some others on the bench that can certainly like develop into good players. So yeah, I mean, honestly, if I don't own my own first, like I would be trying to figure out a way to like compete with this team. Like personally, I know it's not the direction you've gone in already. You've already made some moves toward like the rebuild, but I mean, it's never too late. I mean, you're great at like pulling off trades. And yeah, even though you're missing an RB2, like who knows? Like if the rest of your studs perform like studs, you might not even need it, and maybe you can trade for one later. So personally, I would stay flexible and I would keep trying to compete with this team. And yeah, even if the odds are stacked against you, I mean, like I don't know what your odds of making the playoffs are. Let's just say they're like 20%. Okay, well, you still have like a 1 in 5 chance. Like that could happen. Like that's not unreasonable. So I would stay flexible. I would look for any kind of trade opportunities to keep you contending. But at the same time, if you get like a good trade offer where you can do a crafty tear down and get some good draft picks for the future, like I definitely don't hate doing that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I mean, maybe this is kind of like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but I definitely wouldn't shut the door on contending because there's really not that much incentive when you don't own your own 26 first.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, with the players I have, like, there's no way I can't get that first back, but like, it's like at what cost, like that's the key. So I mean, it is funny because, I mean, ideally, like, yeah, like I would have kept Henry and stuff. I mean, I got way too good of a deal for like Buka. How that I got accepted, I'm not sure. So like, I mean, technically, I could just go sacrifice like a Buka and get my first back. I should get a plus on top, though. So,
what about Lamb? Because he's probably the oldest among your stud receivers. So, I mean,
yeah.
what is Lamb, like 26 right now? Something like that?
He's 26, but when I got him the deal for Jefferson, which again is like counterintuitive. It's so funny. I trade away everyone on my team, and this is actually why I did these trades anyways. Because I don't think it like, as funny as it sounds, like I don't think Derrick Henry and Alvin Kamara and stuff are gonna like make a difference on this team. Like look, they will, but like I still won this week without them. I won them with I'm gonna win with Brashard Smith in my lineup and not even playing.
Yeah, and by the time like Derrick Henry heats up in like November, December, like you're probably already eliminated from the playoffs by then anyway. So I can see how it just made sense to cash out.
When I start doing these trades, it's like you start getting picks, and I can at least have something in before it's too late, and I can still open up a chance to trade for my first. It would be pretty counterintuitive to go trade for my first after getting rid of all those players, but nonetheless, like I was 0-4, with low max points 4 as well. So it's not like really much has changed for my team regardless. Like I'm probably not gonna make playoffs, but
why did you say it would be counterintuitive to trade for your first after trading away those players? Like,
because you never want to go. You want to trade for those players, like your first back first. But the issue is,
you're saying it wouldn't make sense to get those players back.
Well, I'm just saying it wouldn't make any sense for me to go trade. Oh, hey, Villy, I'm trading away Derrick Henry. I'm trading away Kamara, Chuba, and Kane.
Oh,
yeah. Can I get my first back now?
Yeah, because then obviously they know you're trying to tank and make it the 1-on-1. I see what you're doing.
So okay. I never plan on it. But the funny part is like, it probably doesn't really affect my team that much. Like, my team, like if Chase and Igbuka and Browning and look, if these guys all get together. At absolute worst, even with like a Brashard Smith or Ray Davis in my lineup, I'm probably a middle of the pack team at worst and have a 50% chance of winning any given week. So I'm kind of just taking my chances of like these guys, if they pull it together, great. Then I can look at contending. If not, I've already moved some picks in. I do think there are some kind of sneaky down tiers though with like Lamb. Again, it would suck to sell Chase having Burrow and just like selling him low. I just don't think that's necessary. And again, you can still see he'll have these weeks every other week or whatever where he's gonna blow up. It's gonna come with a lot of duds with Browning. But when they hit, you're probably gonna win your week like this week. So I think there are some opportunities. I think the key is like if Brian Thomas does something, can I turn him into my first and like a player to replace him? If I could do that, I'd probably be pretty happy to do so and kind of get the best of both worlds. Try to keep contending, but also have my first. So I'm interested to see. I'm hoping Brian Thomas has a good game. It's fortunately my only share of him. Yeah, he can go if he has a good game. Like in a fair deal at least. So, yeah.
Why is that? I mean, like, I know we're concerned about him the rest of the season, but like, I mean, are we concerned about him from a long-term perspective? Like, do we think he's no longer a good NFL receiver, that he won't turn it around, sooner or later?
No, because if I can get my first back and a good player for him, and it's a fair deal, then
what level of player are you talking about? I mean, what is someone? Okay, you could have your own first back and Calvin Ridley. Like, is that enough, or like, what do you need on top of it?
Yeah, I wouldn't go that low. But though, again, with my first, it's like where I can end up. I mean, that could end up being a good deal if Ridley can do anything if he's a startable.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, and that might be something that you could reasonably be offered. Or, I mean, I'm trying to think of someone else that's kind of in that. Maybe a little higher than that, like someone that's maybe more in like an early second kind of range.
If it was like a random, like if it was like a Deebo Samuel, and like my first back, like I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one, right? It's like
I can see it.
I think this team's not making playoffs. Look, if I made playoffs, I'd be fine losing that deal. Like, I think it's a good way to look at it. Like, if I don't make playoffs, I'm probably going to be happy I got my first back. I mean, it's tough, though, right? Brian Thomas is a great receiver. I don't know if he's as good as we thought he was this offseason, but it could just end up being a fair deal when I get a...
I mean, it's possible Brian Thomas is just in a funk right now, and maybe there's some reason for it that we don't know about. I mean, who knows? He could have something like going on in his like personal life, or like, who knows what. We're not privy to a lot of these things, so... It's probably more likely that it's like something like that, or he's just in some kind of like slump that he's going to come out of, then he just forgot how to play football and he's like no longer good. I mean, like,
for sure. I think the goalposts have certainly moved a little bit, though. I don't
know that.
I mean, he was in the wide receiver 1 overall conversation.
So you're saying that like his dynasty value can like never recover at this point?
No, not at all. I just think this year, which is what I'm concerned about if I trade him, right? What's he in the off season? I think that's really all you have to care about is who cares about 2026 and beyond. This off season, I mean, he will have to be putting up those Mac Jones, like late season numbers with Mac Jones to get back to that spot and earn trust back, which is certainly possible. But I do think like we're looking at more of like you're hoping is a high end wide receiver 2 instead of like a high end wide receiver 1 rest of season, which is still really good. I'm hoping it's just a big funk, but I mean, yeah, it's not even just to do with him, right? There's Trevor Lawrence and all this stuff going on in Jacksonville, and they're winning games and they're a good offense while all this is going on, which is kind of like the thing that you don't really want to see in fantasy, where it's like, this thing that's happening and a player's being bad or whatever the utilization is, and they're actually winning games doing with that. Like, I don't know, that's not like always the greatest thing.
I hear you. I mean,
for change,
it's tough when like we don't know why exactly like Brian Thomas isn't playing well. So I ended up selling him in the listener league for basically 2 firsts, 26 and 27. So I hear you. I mean, there's definitely a price on him, but I wouldn't overreact too much, especially since like you're probably not contending anyways. But again, I wouldn't close the door on it. I mean, who knows? Like maybe all of a sudden, like once you give up, ironically, like this team like goes on a tear. I mean, we already saw it last week, and that's exactly what happened in like the first week after you did it. So it's just funny how that happens. So I would stay open to it. I wouldn't. I mean, sure, if you have an opportunity to get your own first back, like take it. But I would still be trying to contend until I've completely have exhausted that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the biggest problem, by the way, with this team, and again, we'll see with Jake Browning, they're saying they're not going to trade him. I mean, Jake Browning's been the biggest issue of this team. If Jake Browning could be like 2023 Jake Browning, like I feel pretty good about this team even with Brashard Smith sitting there, of this team
Right.
like actually going and like making this comeback. The issue is
Yeah.
you absolutely cannot have 8 or 9 points from your QB2 every week in this, you know. So thankfully he had that and then got 3 garbage. He had 0 points or like negative or something. Then he had 3 garbage time touchdowns. That saved his
Yeah.
week.
Oh, yeah.
I can't hope for that every week. So yeah, Jake Browning I think is actually like the skeleton key to winning here if he's good. I need him. I need him to be good. So.
And you need Lamb back. So I don't know if Lamb will be back next week. I'm hoping that's the case. I have a couple
Yeah.
Lamb shares in Dynasty and definitely need him back. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But, yeah, I would just stay open. I mean, look for any kind of deals that make sense. Either deals that just give you like a great value in that you can't turn down, even if it means you're going further into a rebuild. I'd be okay with that. But I would also be open to any moves that help you stay alive as long as you're not giving up too much in the future.
Yeah, I just gotta hope on this Brashard Smith breakout or James Cook injury or whatever else can go right here.
Well, yeah. Hey, well, speaking of Brashard Smith, like let's tune into Chiefs Jags and hopefully watch that breakout happening. So, any last questions you have for me about just advice for that team of yours in Grease Bowl?
No, it's just yeah. I mean, you've been in the league for the last 2 years. I think the one thing I'll say about just again, like how I was first in points for last year with this team, and even it didn't matter. I was losing matchups by 1 point. It seemed like every week, and I guess the biggest lesson is, like, to me, I am not trading my first away unless an absolute win, the biggest win ever, right? And I know people are going, well, you want to? No, I don't want to fleece people. I'm just saying, like, you want my first, you're probably not going to get it because. This is an absolute disaster, and thankfully I don't do that in like any other leagues really at all. So I don't have to worry about this issue. But yeah, I mean, very big mistake. Again, I know it's like, how could I have known? But it literally happened to me the year before where my team was actually amazing.
Yeah.
Or really good and wasn't good enough to make the playoffs somehow. So
good Lord, I just noticed. Well, I'm happy Patrick Mahomes threw a touchdown. It was Travis Kelce, but I just noticed that Tyquan Thornton already has 2 catches for 56 yards, while Xavier Worthy has a goose egg. So
how many?
Not what you like to see. Not what you like to see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's got a carry for 9 yards.
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah. But,
oh wow.
The Tyquan Thornton thing, dude. He might be one of the most valuable players per target. No, just like player per target. He doesn't get very many of them, but when you see the targets he's getting, like, it's like they're scheming him up well. He's getting these awesome deep shots. Half the time he doesn't catch it or drops it or whatever. But yeah, anytime I've been watching a game, he's been getting some pretty valuable targets. So not surprised to see him just like randomly have a 52-yard catch or whatever. However he ended up getting those.
So hopefully Worthy gets going, but I was happy to see the Mahomes touchdown. I have him starting in Randy's league, and I am playing his brother Reed this week.
Okay.
And Reed had Rico Dottle. And in this format, Rico Dottle scored about 43 fantasy points. So, that definitely needed that touchdown. Favored to win right now, 79%. Although I'm still like down, let's see, 21 points in the matchup. I have Mahomes and Worthy going, so hoping for a big game there. Hopefully, Worthy gets it going.
Yeah, we need Worthy 6 points today. Hopefully, he can get that unless he gets hurt or something.
Oh, for what? Our co-managed team in Walter White's lab.
Yeah, and then it looks like Matt and I think this is a pretty important win for us. We now need just 7 points from Mahomes, a touchdown or some yards.
Okay, yeah. Like 7 points more from after the touchdown, you mean?
From now on. So hopefully we can get that in the next 4 quarters. We would have already iced this one out, both these matchups as just mentioned, if Dave Mercado just walked into the end zone. I mean, why do we see this every week? It's the dumbest thing ever.
Oh, did he throw the ball down before going in?
You didn't see that?
No, I missed it.
Oh my God, this was like, dude, yeah, like he randomly in like the 4th quarter. He actually lost them the game. Like, did you see anything about that Cardinals game?
Not really.
I have to give you a quick summary. They were up 21-6. He was walking in the end zone on like a 70-yard touchdown, He lets it go. It's a touchback. They proceed to then have like I mean, dude, like I just called it the most Looney Tunes touchdown in history. The Cardinals picked the ball off. The guy fumbled it while rolling around. It got kicked by three Cardinals defenders into the end zone, and Tyler Lockett jumped on it. It was just like,
oh, actually, I think I did see that one.
The silliest touchdown I've ever seen scored, and it was
Yeah,
like so dumb.
one.
It was like all these Cardinal players, oh, I need to go get this ball, and they're kicking it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing, dude? Just jump on the football.
Right. Yeah, when are they going to learn?
And they ended up losing it on like a game losing field goal or something like that. I mean, it was just crazy. Anyways, Dan Mercado got like a reaming on, and I mean, that's what I want to do to him for our matchups. Like, I already have 2 matchups secure. Now we have a chance of losing, so.
Oh yeah, I had Demercado starting in like at least like 3 leagues or so. So that's infuriating to hear.
Yeah, those are the only 2 I had him in, and I needed those like 8 points he'd lost because it would have been 6 for the touchdown and 2 for the fumble. So
yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, 8-point swing. That's brutal.
Gotta hope it shouldn't affect anything, but it's possible. So
yeah. Cool. Well, we will call it there. Thank you everyone for joining us. Good stream, and if you want to support us, just make sure you're subscribed. That's the best way you can support us. If you are subscribed already, you can always drop a like, leave us a comment after. And let's see. Oh, and for Film Club, watch Whiplash. We are going to try to review it during our Wednesday stream. Yeah. So 2 days from now. Yeah. So if you want to, participate in that, and actually having seen the movie when we're talking about it at the end of Wednesday stream, check that out if you haven't yet. And yeah, we will probably see. I don't think we're planning on streaming tomorrow, so we will see you guys Wednesday.